Hello everybody and welcome back to All the Mods 9. Now before we talk about what we did in the previous episode, I quickly wanted to mention that yeah, you can probably see it here, I actually got a new skin. It's supposed to look a little bit more like a spacesuit, and yeah, that's kind of why I'm back in the base. I feel like this area is probably the best place to actually show off my new spacesuit. The skin is pretty much the same as it was, but now I'm just sort of have an additional layer over top of it, and that is the spacesuit itself. You can also see probably maybe if I turn my head, my character did get a little bit of a haircut, and you can see I now just have a mustache and got rid of the mutton chops. My character is now supposed to look a little bit cleaner with sort of more of a astronaut-like appearance. We can even go into F5 mode here and see the back of it. It's pretty basic on the back. We do have the sort of the yellow stripes around the arms that kind of go all the way around. And then on the left arm, you can see right there, we have just a little patch, or I guess it's technically like an energy source because that is my character's mechanical arm. As you can see, the hand itself is still sort of a metallic color, I guess. And then we have the hood that acts as sort of the back of the helmet area. And so yeah, we could potentially put a helmet on over this. But yeah, that's the new skin. I hope you guys like it. So back to our Create and Botania area, you can see I've been doing a little bit of work on the world tree. I took a suggestion from the comments to add more lighting to the leaves, and it makes it feel a little bit more magical. And that is one thing that I kind of forget about building in this area. Because I have night vision goggles, it's sort of, it's hard to remember that some of these areas do actually need lighting. And then all I've just done here is add some more trees and a pathway, and converted the rails so that these are regular train tracks, just to act as an indicator that we can cross here. And leading up to it, we can see that we actually have these framed slabs here, and I just have these spread out occasionally. These are basically just the roots of the tree that are sort of going underground. And yeah, with the frame blocks, it looks so much more detailed, and we also have stairs occasionally. As you can see, we have this area that sort of gently declines here. And we do a similar thing with the branches, where we have the framed stairs, and then we have these framed slab edges, and these basically just act as like little mini tree branches. Unfortunately, I still have not had the time to actually go through over here and redo this system and get it decorated. But we'll probably be working on that pretty soon. Because what I want to do today is actually get started on what I wanted to do probably 2, maybe 3 episodes ago, and that's actually get started on mana infusion. As a bit of a reminder, in order to continue with Botania, we are going to need to summon the Guardian of Gaia, which requires 4 Gaia Pylons, which are crafted with the Elf Steel Pylons, which require the ingots, and those are made in the mana infuser. So we should already have everything that we need for this. We are going to need a few extra runes for this, however, so I might actually go through and add these to our auto crafting system that was covered in the previous episode. We'll just add the recipes in here. Hopefully we have enough slots. If not, we can actually upgrade the pattern provider. So we're going to need the Rune of Spring, just like that, the Rune of Summer, the Rune of Autumn, the Rune of Winter, and finally the Rune of Asgard. And because we do have 5 more patterns, I am going to craft the ME Extended Pattern Provider, which we should theoretically have everything of. I do need to craft it in this interface though. And just like that, that should be everything for the upgraded pattern provider. And I'll just go ahead and replace the one that we already have here. And I think that all went inside of my ME system. So I will have to reconfigure this, but we do have these runes here now. And yep, here they are. Let's go ahead and pull those out and put them back inside the pattern provider. So inside of our AE2 interface, you can see that we have additional runes here that we can actually craft, and these are the patterns that we just created. So for example, let's start off with the rune of spring. It shouldn't be too hard. We do have everything for that, and it should go through pretty quickly, hopefully. Looks like we see all of the items going in. And by the way, I do know that there is, I think somebody mentioned that you can only, yeah, right here, you can lock it until the primary crafting result is returned. That way it's only going to send one crafting recipe at a time, and hopefully that should save us a little bit of a headache. In fact, I'm pretty sure this entire section of redstone should be able to be taken down now. But I'm going to leave it up because, as we can see here, I don't think it actually returned it. And by the way, I did take down all of my sort of mana network that I had over here. So I'm wondering if maybe the craft tried to go through and it just right-clicked it and there was just no mana, so it failed and zapped our items away, maybe? I'm not too sure. Let me fix that though. Fortunately though, I did put all of our mana inside of mana tablets, so as long as this is on the right mode, which it is, and I need to turn my magnet off, we can just throw that inside the pool, and hopefully that'll create enough mana to generate what we need. So I am just going to attempt this craft once again. I'm assuming that it failed. I do need to watch this. It's also possible that my magnet picked everything up before we could actually go through with the pattern. Let's see. And our vacuum module here might become an issue because it is going to be trying to grab everything that it can. It's going to grab all of the runes that we placed down, which is why we don't see any runes there. So let's see, which ones do we need? Water and fire. Let's see if we can just get these manually on here. We should have a rune, fire, and water. Here we go. Just zap those in the modular router. Hopefully that goes through correctly. And here we go. And right, we need a mana spreader on this. Sometimes taking down your system and then trying to build it again is a little bit weird here. So let's go ahead and do that. And we did take the living rock, be able to place it back down. Hopefully that'll now craft our rune of spring. And this did not go through. So we'll just have to do it mostly manually. Here we go. Next up, we need to craft the Rune of Autumn. Again, we have everything that we need for this. And hopefully this vacuum hopper won't just take everything away. Oh, actually, you know what? This is probably... yeah, crafting is locked. And as you can see here, we can see that we have a few runes that are crafting that never actually returned into here. Apparently we still have about 2,000 living wood being generated. Don't remember why I did that. It's probably good to keep going though. So let's head back to the Sky Island. We're just gonna try that again. And I've just taken out the vacuum hopper from that modular router. I think I need to eventually set up a system separate to this one that can craft the second tier runes. It's also important to note for these second tier runes, they don't seem to actually consume the first tier runes, but they also only craft one of each instead of two. Next up is the Rune of Winter, which requires a cake, which surprisingly I have, so this recipe should go through. Here we go. Next up is the Rune of Summer, also pretty simple. And just like that, we should have pretty much all of the runes. The only one left now is the Rune of Asgard. Now, I did take a look at the recipe, and it looks like we're going to need the Rune of Pride. This is another recipe that we can add pretty easily to our auto crafting system and place inside the pattern provider, and we should actually just be able to request the Rune of Asgard and it should auto craft that. We are going to need a couple of mana diamonds first though. Eventually I should probably automate those, but I think I want to wait until I have a little bit of a better system all set up, and yeah, we can actually get everything automated that way. For now though, we can go ahead and toss in our diamonds. And by the way, this mana pool is almost full. I am curious to know if the hydrangeas will back up and stop working. I'm not really sure if they'll do that or not. I'm thinking, well, what I'm hoping for is if they stay filled up, they won't work and then they'll stay as hydrangeas. Then as we need mana, it'll generate. Hopefully it works that way. If not, it's perfectly fine. So once again, I'm just going to request the Rune of Asgard. It should begin with the Rune of Pride, I believe it was called. It's like it is. And that's not going to go back in the system unless I pick it up and put it back inside the system. That. And did it not craft it? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It just fell off to the side. I thought that the machine or the system ate it. So, yep, here we go. As soon as we get it back in the system, should get started on the next one, which is the Rune of Asgard. And hopefully that'll go pretty quickly here. By the way, this does require the, I believe that's the Frost, the Wand of Bifrost wand, something like that, and a netherite ingot. And here we go. We have everything we need for the Rune of Asgard. Now what we need to do is get a couple of elementium ingots, as well as a piece of glimmering dreamwood. Now we've already talked about the elementium ingots. These are just, I believe it's going to be the mana ingots, and we send those into the portal to Alfheim, and then they send back a elementium ingot. And then the dreamwood is the same thing. We just throw in a piece of living wood and we get back a piece of dreamwood. Now, because I did take down the system earlier, oh, I guess I already had mana pools. We do need to get some more mana in here, and we'll just be achieving that by using mana tablets. It's not the best, but for now, that's all that we can do. But these do pretty much fill these really quickly, so I think even right now I should be able to activate the portal. Let's see. Just want to check to make sure we have a decent amount of mana still. So I want to throw in a mana steel ingot. I believe it's 2 for each one. Let's see if it'll actually throw it in there. Here we go. That's 1 elementium. There's 2 elementium. And now I think we just need regular living wood. And yeah, that is a 1-to-1. I'm just going to grab a little bit because I kind of like how this block is designed. And of course they send it back one at a time. There we go. And now our final step is just going to be to combine the dreamwood with a bit of glowstone dust, and that creates the glimmering dreamwood, which is what we need to craft the mana infuser. So here we go, we finally have the mana infuser. So for this, what we are going to need is, I believe this is 5 blocks of gold, as well as 4 glimmering stone, I believe it's called. So we can just go ahead and throw some living rock inside of here. And let's see if that is what this is. Maybe not. Okay, so I think I found what it is. This is actually shimmer rock. And how we get this is actually by combining living rock with bifrost blocks. And you get the bifrost blocks by combining elf glass with the rod of bifrost. Wow, this is definitely a mouthful of a recipe. So I probably should have waited to use my rod of the Bifrost. but we can get another one pretty easily just by getting some dragonstone and elementium. And we can craft another Rod of the Bifrost. And we can turn regular glass, there we go, into mana glass. And then we throw that mana glass into the portal to Alfheim, and that should return Alf glass. Yep, here we go. Of course, it's always one at a time. But now if we use the Rod of the Bifrost and combine it with the Alf glass, we get the Bifrost block. And finally, if we combine that with Living Rock, we get the Shimmer Rock. So in total, we need 5 of these. Go, as well as 4 blocks of gold. And I think I just want to set this up in our little temporary area over here. So we can go ahead and place our gold blocks down first. Should be like that. With our our Shimmer Rock on the sides and in the middle, the mana fuser on top. Then we're going to use sparks to connect that to our mana pool. So let's test this by creating the Alf Steel ingots. For this, we are going to need elementium, dragonstone, and pixie dust, as well as 1.5 mana pools. And while I'm waiting for these mana tablets to fill up, why not consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video? It's totally free and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content so far. This series has had a lot of support so far, especially on these supercut videos, so I do just want to quickly thank you guys for that. And yeah, thank you for the support. It really means a lot to me. But hey, if you want to take it one step further, why not consider becoming a channel member? It's the best way to support me directly, and you get access to all of my content early. I've also been working on a little bit of a bigger video as well, sort of a secret project, so if you guys want to get your name in the end credits for that, it's definitely a good chance to do that. So with all that shilling out of the way, let's jump back into the video. Alright, so what I've basically done is move all of our mana over that we were generating over in this building, over to where the mana infuser is with these tablets. And we have a little over a pool and a half. We also have sparks on top of both of these mana pools, which hopefully will allow the mana infuser to actually get mana from both of them. Hopefully we'll have to see if that'll work. All right, so I've gone ahead and gathered everything we need for this craft. Let's get the dragonstone on. Let's make sure that we're only putting one item on at a time as well. That's an elementium and pixie dust. Do we need to... It looks like it's starting automatically. You can see the mana sort of bubbling out of the mana pools. I'm hoping that's enough. It should be. Hopefully. Here we go. So what I've just gone ahead and done is added a dominant trait to this spark here. And what that does is actually basically tells all of the other sparks to pull mana over here. I think before they were just balancing between them, possibly. I'm not really sure how it works, but it does look like this is working now. And any second we should have our elf steel as it begins to rain. Any second now. It does take a minute. And it looks like, there we go, we have it. Nice. So if we go ahead and take a look at the uses for elf steel, really the only craft that we have available is to make it into elf steel nuggets or blocks of elf steel. And what we could also use it for is to craft the sort of the elf steel tier items from, I believe these are actually from Mythic Botany, not actually from base botany itself, Botania, sorry. And basically what we can do with this is upgrade the Terra tier items to the elf tier. But what we want to use this for is to craft the elf steel nuggets, because these are actually used to craft the elf steel pylons. And I am just going to quickly need to make a couple more Natura pylons. Here we go. Oh, that's only 3. Ah, shoot, I am gonna need to make another Terra Steel ingot. By the way, it is important to note that you can actually create the essences for the different tiers of metals inside of Botania. So yeah, this is a definitely probably the best way to get these. Eventually I will set these up, but I just haven't gone through and done it yet. Right, and we should now have everything that we need to craft the Alpha Steel Pylons. Hoping that we actually got everything correct. And there we go, we have 4 of them. Now all that's left is to upgrade these into the Gaia Pylons, which I'm pretty sure we're going to need a few more of these items. Yeah, it looks like we were only able to craft 1. That should be 2. Yep, just need a few more bits of pixie dust. And man, yeah, today's projects have taken a ton of mana, so I might need to spend a little bit of time AFK just to get some more mana. Although it looks like we might be able to pull through here. And let's see if that's everything. And it is. We have all 4 Gaia pylons now. Nice. So the next step is to actually build the contraption that's going to allow us to summon the Gaia spirit. However, it seems like I sort of messed up, as my Lexicobotania is not telling me what the Gaia sort of the build recipe is, so I'm going to have to wing it based off of the quest log. So we need to build a basic beacon structure, just like that. We can use any sort of building block here, I do believe. So we have that, we have the beacon now. So I have the wiki open. By the way, shout out to the FTB wiki. It really helps out with my series, so here it should be on the 3rd one. Something like that, and then we place the pylon on top. Now I might need to adjust the height of these, we'll have to see. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. So we also need an 11 by 11 area that is clear. So might need to adjust our area here. This is going to summon a boss, by the way. So definitely, if you're playing along with me, definitely be prepared to fight a boss. So go like that. So I've spent about the last hour or so generating a little bit more mana, because what we need for actually activating and summoning the Gaia Guardian is a Terra Steel ingot. So gone ahead and crafted that. I've also moved our battle platform down here at the water, because one thing that's sort of important about this fight is that flight is actually disabled. So we're not actually going to be able to fly around to defeat the boss. We are going to have to do it on foot. And yeah, I think without further ado, given that we've sort of built this correctly, hopefully, if we just go ahead and shift right click on the beacon, interesting. Right, so I've raised my pylons. Let's see if that'll work. And it looks like it does. Let's jump in. Gonna quickly make sure I'm recording. Yep, okay, I am. Alright, so you can see there's sort of, first off, there's boss music playing. Second off, there's sort of a force field trapping us within this arena. So what we're supposed to do here is, I believe we just don't think we can attack the Guardian itself. I think we need to attack the little fairies, and the boss itself will sort of jump around. And it looks like we did get a hit in or 2, and we are withered now. I'm not sure if I've actually taken any damage yet. It looks like I have actually taken a decent amount of damage. I guess we just need to keep attacking these little fairies. Let me eat a carrot. Definitely taking out these pixies is how you do this. Yeah, my mouse is acting up a little bit, so I do apologize if there's a slight cut there. So we are pretty close to beating the Gaia Guardian. And now he's doing his special move where he summons in additional enemies. I believe he does this for a little while. We just gotta kill all of the guys that he summons in. Okay. Any chance we can hit him from here? I think we actually did. I'm not sure if that did damage though. I am getting a little bit of lag, surprisingly, doing this boss fight. It's probably all the particles that are spawning around. Here we go. There we go. Nice. We defeated the Gaia Guardian. Awesome. So from that, we got 8 Gaia spirits, and the Gaia spirits are used in a lot of crafting recipes to come. But we can now go ahead and click the Gaia Spirits reward. Fortunately, we get some Terra Steel ingots because those are a little bit of a pain to craft. And now we can go and do the next tier, and we can get Gaia Mana Spreaders and basically anything that requires Gaia Spirits. But I think with that boss fight finally out of the way, I think I'm gonna end things there for today. Riddled with arrows, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.